Now I'm going to introduce you to logical variables, which are also sometimes called Boolean and occasionally also called binary variables. So I'll talk about what a Boolean means, and you'll see the difference between a single equal sign and a double equal sign. And then I will also introduce you to a related concept, which is the tilde character. That's this squiggly little character here. It's often found on the top left of the keyboard. All right, so the idea of a Boolean or a logical is to test whether something is true or false. We want to know whether a statement is true or false. It gets a little bit confusing because Matlab represents false as 0 and it represents true as 1. So you have to be a bit mindful when you see the numbers 0 and 1 printed out on the command window, whether those are actually numeric values 0 and 1 or Booleans for false and true. So if you want to test whether something is true, whether a statement is true, you use a double equal sign like this. So we are asking the question here, is the left-hand side of this double equal sign equal to the right-hand side of the double equal sign? Now, obviously, in this case, the answer is yes. 5 does indeed equal 5. And we see the result, the answer, is of type logical, and the answer is 1, which means true. Or we can say, does 5 equal 4? And now the answer is 0 or false. So this is a double equal sign. It's basically like asking the question whether the left-hand side equals the right-hand side. That should not be confused with a single equal sign, which is used for assigning values to variables. And of course, you already know all about that. So this is illegal behavior. If we would say 5 equals 4, that is wrong. That's an error because, so incorrect use of the equals operator. In fact, Matlab is telling us what we want to do here. So in fact, what we are telling Matlab to do is to assign the value of 5 to the value of 4. Unfortunately, that is not possible. It's not possible in Matlab, it's not possible in mathematics, it's not possible in the universe. 5 does not equal 4 as long as, we assume that dividing by 0 is not allowed. Anyway, so this is illegal behavior. Now, you can get things that look a little bit confusing. So what we are doing here is creating a variable called 4 is 5. That's the name of the variable. And we are setting that variable to be equal to the equality, the test of the equality 4 equals 5. So it's a lot of equal signs floating around here, but I hope you can see what's going on. We are using this double equal sign to ask the question whether 4 equals 5. And the answer to this question is going to be assigned into this variable 4 is 5. So let's run this. And then we type whose, so I think I'll just type whose down here. And we want to know 4 is 5. So this is a single number, and it is of class logical. So, and we can see what this is. It is false, and that is an expected result, of course, because 4 does not equal 5. And there's one more thing I want to show you. So let's see. I'm just creating some random variable here. So I just want to show you the sizes. So it's interesting to compare. Oh, actually, a better idea would be to set v equal to 0. So now variable v is the number 0, and variable 4 is 5 is the logical 0 or false. So now if we type whose, you can see that in memory, in MATLAB's memory buffer, variable v takes up 8 bytes, right? But the variable 4 is 5 is logical. It takes up only 1 byte because it's not actually the number 0, it is the Boolean false. Okay, so that's about the double equal sign and a type logical or type Boolean and assigning. I would now like to introduce you to the tilde character. So this tilde character is the squiggly line. It's typically at the top left of your keyboard. And what the tilde does in MATLAB is negate a statement. So it's going to turn trues into falses and falses into trues. So for example, we can write 1 equals 1. Now obviously this is true. So the answer is 1 here, indicating that 1 does equal 1. But if we were to encase this, or put a tilde in front of this, then we say not 1 equals 1. And now the answer is false. And the reason why that's false is essentially, you can think of the tilde as like flipping a switch on the Boolean. So this statement is true, and then the tilde just flips the switch. So that turns it to be false. Likewise, we can ask the question, is 4 less than 3? And then with the tilde, we're saying not. So there the answer is true. And it's a bit tricky because 4 is, it's true that 4 is not greater than 3. That's kind of what we're asking here. Okay, and then this here is just a reminder. 1 equal sign is an assignment. It's like making a statement. 2 equal sign is asking a question. So now you know about logical, sometimes called Boolean variables, and you also know about using the tilde operator to negate a logical statement. In the next video, I'm going to talk about structures. That's a really exciting, possibly the coolest and most flexible way of storing multiple different kinds of information in Matlab. So I will see you in the next video.